Hello, my name is John.
And I'm Nikki, and we are the bosses next door.
Yep. Today we're talking about the hills we die on as a business owners. So there's things that you can put up with, there's things you can't put up with, but there's things that like Nikki and myself will like absolutely die on or lose our flipping mind if they don't happen that particular way. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
What is one of those that you have for you?
Most people know mine is grammar and spelling and punctuation and looking professional.
Yeah.
If you write something and it doesn't look right, I'm going to come back in and fix it. And then I'm going to do a screenshot. I'm going to highlight it. And I'm going to send it to you and say, this is what it needs to look like for next time.
Yeah.
Because it has to be uniform. It has to be professional. It has to look right every single time.
Right. Do you think ChatGPT has helped or made that worse?
I think for some people in our building, it's helped.
Yep.
Some people, it probably made it a little worse because they're not thinking now. And I think if you don't use your skills, you'll lose your skills. So it's cool to have it as like an add-on, a help, but not to do everything.
I find that when they put it in ChatGPT, they have the best, I'm going to write this out and then throw it in there. And they throw it in there and they don't read it and really look through it and maybe run it through again, like make this adjustment, that adjustment. There's like words that I know they never use or the way they have their whole thing formatted. I am not a great speller. That is my kryptonite. And Nikki lets me know all the time.
Trying to make you better.
Hey. So, but is there anything else that you die on the hill for?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just professionalism.
Yeah.
Shining the companies in the right lights.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because, man, you have these people out there working or answering the phones or customer service side, for any of the companies, like they're the representation of what you want or want, the product that you're putting out there. And it's incredibly important. And I think too often people don't put a lot of consideration in that or they don't think about it. Like we both always wear a logoed shirt from one of our businesses. Like always. We don't ever, it's very, very rare for us to wear something that's not tied to
during
something.
business hours, like I wear whatever I want on the weekends.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like just continuously talking about the core values and why we do the things and, for the right reason and we always want to make sure that we're shining that light because if you don't, then people forget, right? I think for me, another one is like just the cleanliness of our landscape trucks drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, man, you open that door, like, what the heck, man? Like, you want to come to work and like have like cups and whatever that's on the bottom. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
On one level, you got to think, okay, if this is my truck and I drive it every day, I should like reset it at the end of every day. So I come into a fresh environment to go.
Yeah.
But what happens is some of the drivers, they don't care and they're like stockpiling trash all week long. And at the end of the week, you're like, dude, it's disgusting in here.
Oh, it's crazy. What happens if somebody else drives your truck and all the things?
Which happens sometimes. Sometimes
absolutely.
you got to move people around or they don't come to work and somebody else is taking over. Like, I don't want that truck.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's a big one.
Yeah. I think for me, it's, I think another one for me is going to be like respect, right? Like respect's a big thing for me. And like talking to customers with respect, but also customers being respectful to like what we're doing, right?
Right.
Like we talk about in the lawn care company here that we're professionals, right? You couldn't hand this piece of equipment to a homeowner and expect them to do a wonderful job, right? Like you have to be a professional. There's a level of professionalism that you need to have. You answer the phones, you're answering phones with a smile, right? You're doing customer service. It's like, how can we help you? How can we resolve that problem? Because once you lose that and you're like, it's just a blah job, that person does not necessarily need to be here anymore.
Right. I agree. Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's something we have to be, and I think culture beats everything, right? You are amazing at the culture side of it, right? Especially for, like you look at Call Boss, the culture over there is really, really good. And here too, right? She really you really take your time and like make sure you're checking in with people. And I think that's like one of the hills you probably don't really consider, but I think you do a really good job of stepping up and talking, like making sure you have time for everybody in the morning or throughout the day when they come in, right? Because it's like you get a pulse on what's going on. How are they doing? Good, bad, or indifferent. Hey, this guy's acting kind of like this. Maybe we need to kind of watch out or whatever. And I think you do a good job of like checking that. Whereas some other people don't necessarily do that. They do more, I think, now that they watch you do it. Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably a hill that you would probably die on, you know?
I think it's super important.
Yeah.
Granted, I know you say I come in like a Tasmanian devil and like tear up everything in the office and take everybody off task, but at the same time, it's like the people that work for us need to know that we're invested in them.
Yeah.
And when I have time to talk to like the call boss team, because that one's harder because they're not right in front of us. It's easy to walk in here and go down the aisle and talk to everybody. Versus like, I got to call. Like it takes a lot of time. So I do some blanket check-ins over there, but it's super important.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I check in with people too, but mine's more like it happens way early in the morning. A lot more with the team outside, especially with the rollouts in our meetings and stuff. But we make sure that like everybody's branded. Everybody has Little John stuff on. Everybody's on the right page, right? Mm-hmm. And then the call boss is the same. Like we're cascading the same message, you know, we're doing the things we need to be doing.
I do that for field too, but I have to wait till they start coming back in because I'm not here when they roll out. But I do try to always celebrate their wins and make sure that everybody outside knows, hey, thanks for being here. You did a great job today. Thanks for coming in today. Yeah. Because it's a little thing, but if one person doesn't come in outside, it can derail a whole lot of stuff.
Oh, absolutely right.
So I'm just like I'll say, thank you so much. And they're like, for what? Because you're here today. Yeah. I'm glad you made it in, you know. Yeah. Important.
Absolutely. Well, I think those speak volumes, right? So everybody that works for us know that we're very approachable, you know, and I think that is like not all companies are like that. Right. Like we have some guys outside that, man, I never met the owner, and they're a smaller company than we are. Mm-hmm. You know, and you're like, dang, okay.
Right.
You know, so very interesting. Not everyone deserves a second chance, right? We have on here. So like not everyone deserves a second chance. Like we have a standard, which we call our hill, or the standards that we have set for ourselves. We've had people in the past that not meet those standards have left, either gotten fired or quit or whatever. We used to let some of them come back because we were like, oh my God, we really need people. Mm-hmm. I think that has become a die on the hill. Like if you don't leave in good circumstances or you don't call, no show us and you're gone, like you're not coming back.
No. Fair? Yeah, we'll die on that hill. If you couldn't perform when you were here and now you want to come back and try again, but you were a bust the first time around, you're not coming back.
Yeah, we have had guys apply for supervisor roles who worked here in the field and wanted to come back. And I was like, well, you just left. Oh yeah, well I had this other job, you know. Okay, well,
lack of loyalty, buddy.
You burned this bridge, you know. And he's like, really? That you think that's fair? I'm like, absolutely, it's fair.
Yeah.
You did it to us, right? If you would have given your notice, you would have done these other things. Then maybe we could talk.
Well, and that means they're doing it where they're at now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah, and even when we're like, so Little John's, if we interview people, we ask them to give 2 weeks where they're at, no matter where they're at. And they're like, well, I'll just quit. I'm like, no, because if you quit and you do that to them, you're going to do that to us. The standard is you give them 2 weeks. If they let you go, then you can come. Then you can come early. But if they don't let you go, then you need to work your 2 weeks out. Mm-hmm. And I think that has been really, really good. We've actually lost some better employees or potential employees. But I think that's right practice. I think that's something we need to be loyal
Well,
to.
and it saves us on the Little John side too, because we don't want people to think we're poaching employees because we're not. But people they see us now because we're on Main Street, you know, big sign, and word of mouth from other people that work here. So we are getting an influx of people who come from the industry, but at the same time, it's like, do it right because we're not those people.
We're not those people. Yeah, we don't want to be ever.
No.
You know, and I think that's with anybody, right? So like, even if we lose a property, we try to leave the door open so we can get back to that property at some point in time. Mm-hmm. Maybe we mess something up. Like we'll lose a customer, but it's more important to us to make sure that property is handed off to whoever's going to take it. So like they'll be like, oh man, you guys messed this up. Cool. We're sending somebody over to fix it. Well, we're going to go a different direction. We're going to fire you. Yep. No problem. We just want to make sure it's right for the next person.
Right.
And it kind of blows customers away. Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to do what?
Some people are just mad, and they're like, don't come back. Yeah, do not. And you're okay. That's fine. Yeah. But
and it's kind of typically over the silliest things, right?
A lot of times.
Yep. We're like the bottom of the barrel, apparently, or whatever. We're getting kicked in this. So they get upset. And sometimes we don't make a phone call fast enough, right? We don't make it back to them like we should.
Sometimes we don't. Sometimes it's an unrealistic expectation, and my landscaper should just know what I want. But if you don't communicate and tell us that you like certain things, we're going to do what we do at every property. Yeah. So it's a two-way street.
But we always learn from it. So we had this customer, it was hourly, super, super nice home. When we took it over, it was okay. But spent tons and tons of money on his landscaping, and then the guy that was currently taking care of it, I think it was just too much. It was too big of a size of property.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple guys here that are perfectionists that work outside, and we stuck them out there, and like, my goodness, the property looked amazing.
Well, they super take pride in it.
Oh,
they
my gosh.
really care about that property.
Yep. And so he left us, right? And so I asked for feedback because he messaged me and says they're leaving, right? Mm-hmm. And I just say, hey, can I get some feedback so we understand? What was really interesting, he's like, well, you should know that I should have my irrigation checked. What was funny is I went back and looked at his account. He denied every time we tried to do an irrigation inspection.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, what do we learn from that? We learned from that is that's a high profile client. We just need to include that as we're doing stuff. We're not even asking anymore. We're just sending texts over to go do it. And it was just interesting. And he even says like, oh my gosh, my property looks better. And then later he's like, yeah, my property looks amazing. Mm. I'm like, okay. So we kind of think we're going to get that one back just because it's a tough one.
I think it's a tough one in general, and whoever gets it may not want to keep it because it's a tough one.
Yeah.
We had worked it out to where the team that did that property was on point for them. They understood the expectation. Yeah. They all had a good thing going. They felt some kind of way about it and then decided to quit because of the irrigation stuff. And it's like, okay, well, that could have been as simple as you know what? I do need irrigation at this time. Can you guys fix it for me? Instead of I expected you to. Unrealistic expectation.
Yep.
Communicate.
Well, he was the same that was mad because the guy who runs that crew took time off. He made that.
He's like, a vacation.
Yeah. He's like, my expectation is he's at my property every time. And I was like, well, he did request to have off because he was on vacation.
Right.
But so anyways, it's just like the hill we die on, right? We want to do a good job. We leave the door open we leave the door open, right? Because we want to never close that door fully. And also, I think it is way different than most companies because you lose a customer, you're like, oh, I move on. We've gotten several come back. Right later on, maybe not 6 months, maybe it's a year or two down the road, but they remember, oh my gosh, this is what happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that is. So
then it's for us to decide.
It is us for. That's right.
You want to come back? Did you leave on good terms? Where were we last? We can try.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And then team clarity, right? Team performance is more tied to clarity and accountability versus perks and benefits.
Right. I just think. When you hold, that's the fact that we looked up earlier before we started this. When you hold your team accountable and give clear instruction, they can feel good about what they're doing. Sometimes just knowing how to do their job well and excelling at it is worth more than a perk or a benefit.
Absolutely.
Because it's an internal gratification, right?
Well, you come to work and you know what the expectation is and what tasks need to get done versus you show up to work, it's going to be chaotic. It's not going to be the same all the time. And you don't really know what's coming at you. Fair?
I mean, we have seasons of that.
We do have seasons of that. We have busy seasons. But I think it is very interesting that we've gotten really, really good about this is what you can expect when you come here. Mm-hmm. And we don't have all the perks and benefits. We have some at our companies. We don't have all of them. We have to get bigger to have some stuff we really, really want to offer. But even those are probably more just they're nice to have, but it's not like the rest of it, right? Yeah. The rest of what we offer, I think, is way better. The culture, the clarity, right? You know what you're getting assigned to. You know what's happening.
Well, and we've talked about it before. Everyone has to mesh well with the team, and the teams that we have right now, most people get along really well.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to come to work when you know you're going to be around good people who also are working towards that same goal.
Yeah.
We're a good team.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. So I think that is a big part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's not easy. I mean, it's not.
Right.
To find that mesh of people. And we've added, Call Boss, we've added so many people in a short amount of time. And then we're growing. We're we have to add more.
Yeah.
right? But it's like, and the team there is doing really good, going 24 hours, having the people at night who want to learn, want to train, want to do better.
Yeah.
Like that part's pretty awesome.
It's great.
Yeah. Come on, HVAC guys, come on over. Let's go. Let's get you going.
Yeah, we're open for emergency services. So bring in that 24/7. Like we're here.
Yeah.
We just need more nighttime activity.
That's right.
It'll come.
It'll come. Exactly right. So anyways, I just think that like there's probably more things that you die on the hill for than you really realize, right? Either it's grammar or how you look or how the trucks look like or what your facility looks like. Like I take a lot of pride that our building looks really nice. Everything's cleaned up. Everything looks good. Because I want the guys and gals who work for us that come through these doors to feel good about themselves, right? I like that. And I think that there's just certain things that I'm sure you guys that are watching that can come up with like, man, oh yeah, I don't like when these happen. I need to set the standard here, right? And I think dying on the hill is kind of a standard that you set for yourself, you know? And I think those hills have moved for us. I think in the past we're like, yeah, these things have to happen a certain way. And I think that you learn like, oh, maybe there is a better way.
Yeah.
Let's revisit that. And then that's what's great about it. I think that something we offer our employees is like, if you have an idea, please bring it to us. If there's a better idea or a better way of doing things, man, we're super open to it.
Right.
Now, we've heard everything 50 times, different times, but every so often there's something that comes through and you're like, dang, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Right?
We can try it, see how it goes.
Absolutely right. And so I think you got to be willing to like, to be, sorry, you have to be willing to move and adjust, but your hills are your hills, right? The things you're going to die on are what you're going to die on. Any closing statements? Words of wisdom?
Closing statements. I'm on trial.
Hey.
No, I agree. There are certain things that we want a certain way, and most people understand that, and we all can roll with it and make it happen. It's when you have to go back to something that's still wrong, not because there's not a good SOP or not because it hasn't been explained. It's just somebody either doesn't care or doesn't want to change.
Yeah.
That's when there's, a little friction, but
Yeah. I think there's something to add to that. Something I think is important is that, there's things that you go through and you build vendors around you and those things because those are like, you expect them to be there for your best interest, right? And we learned a couple different times that not all vendors are created equal. Not all vendors believe in the same thing you believe in. Not all vendors have the hill that they die on.
right.
Fair?
Yep.
And I think all the time, just this is a total segue, but you need to reevaluate your vendors. You need to reevaluate all those things on a yearly basis. I think what it's taught us, especially over this last couple of years, is that you think the people that have their best interest don't always have your best interest, right? The people, they just get a little lazy on you, and I think that like you have to set that standard of like, nope, we are going to take this out to market to test to make sure that you're giving us the best deal. We are going to go and make sure you're doing the best strategies for us and whatever that may be. You're giving us the best prices, or if it's not the very best price that you can get, it's the customer service you're providing. Like we have one of our vendors, we just make a phone call or a text message, they're dropping off equipment to us. Blowers, hedge trimmers, whatever it is.
Right.
And they'd be really good on price, right?
Right.
Or we had other ones we dealt with that like, might get back to you, might not be ready or whatever. Fair enough?
Yeah.
You following on that?
Yeah, because originally when you started talking about that, I thought you meant like our subs, like vendors, other companies that we use for subs. And I'm like, yeah, because they can get complacent and be like, they're
Absolutely.
not checking my work. I can cut corners.
Absolutely.
And then we're requesting photos and it's like, okay, we can double check it. But you are talking about other businesses that we work with.
Yeah.
A prime example is like tax advisors.
Well, tax advisors, okay, there's a difference between a tax advisor and a tax strategist, right? You need a tax strategist to help you understand how to set your business up the right way. So then you're not getting taxed to all bejesus, because a tax advisor or a tax person is just going to file your taxes, check all the boxes and go. Fair
Right.
enough?
And they might offer suggestion of you can change your business from this format to this next company structure. We don't know. Like, we don't live in tax land. You know what I mean? That's why I pay people to advise me and tell me what's best. And then after doing that, it's like, I don't know if we ever should have changed our structure on one of our companies.
Well, we should have probably got a second And if we were going to, we probably should have got a second opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, so this is stuff that we're learning, right? Or we learned. Not we were learning. We learned. So like now it's like, okay, well, there you go. So we got comfortable with the company who do our taxes. They're very, very nice, but realized that they were kind of shuffling paperwork a little bit, right? And
both, because took us to another, like this started not working. So we went and found another, and then they started working for us. And it's like, okay, it's good. I can provide you the information you need to do the job, but I'm not at this point. I might now, but dig in to learn enough to know so that I can speak their language and understand exactly what they want from us.
Well, you trust what they're going to be doing, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so to that point, right? So you got to make sure you're always going out and like, what is the best interest of your company? And then what is the people who aligned with your business the best?
Right.
Right? So we go to like insurance. We have insurance, right? We were at a place, they got very complacent. And our insurance creep up and they want to tell us like, oh, we're getting a better deal. We just took it to market, saved a bunch of money, $2,000-3,000 a month or whatever it was. And it was fantastic. I'm like, okay, well, they're providing the same stuff. Then we realized like, wait a second, that person that we were dealing with has left. Their whole policy procedures changed. They go and didn't even talk to us and upped our insurance by several thousands of dollars.
The insurance company did. Yeah. It's the broker we're dealing with.
Right. Oh, yeah, we're hunting. Well, they dropped the ball multiple times. And so then we went back to the previous one. Now he's hungry because we gave him a bunch of work, right? And he went back and gave us a great deal again. Like he figured it out, right? But now he knows, like, we will take you to market, and we're going to do that every year to make sure that we're getting the best price possible. It's great. You wish you could take everybody's word for it. Unfortunately, it's just not the case.
Well, and I think in that instance, right, he knows what he's doing. I'm trusting that you know what you're doing enough to get us the best rate so that I don't have to continue to go here and here and here when that's what a broker does.
Yeah.
So with the changes that happened and we ended up going back, I think that was good. He already knows us. He already knows what we're working with. We've just been removed for a couple of years, and now it's like, okay, let's try it again. But the expectation is now set of we need the rate to be around this point moving forward.
Right.
And we've already structured for audit time into the year, right, when they pull all the numbers, and it's an easier process over here than it was over here. And I'll take that all day.
Yep. But I still think we should check, right? It's something we learned. We took...
Yeah, we
were granted that they were going to take care of us, right?
Yeah.
So you talk about taxes, you talk about car insurance, you talk about, man, even going and buying vehicles. We just went and purchased a couple of vehicles. We're getting some more, right? Do your due diligence, right? Don't trust but verify. You need to make sure that they're doing the things that they say they're going to do.
Right.
And I think by checking that, we got some good advice from the guy that Brody, shout out Brody, to helping us. Right. But also, learning from what went well and what didn't go well. And it set us up for next time. Right. Next time what we need to accomplish. So I think that has taught me a lot. These last probably 3-4 weeks. Right. We've gone through some different stuff. I was like, okay, I'm going to learn. You got me once. Not get me again.
Right.
Right. And then go back to what you talk about, the vendors. Like we use vendors at Little John's to hit multiple cities outside of our service area for big contracts that we have. Subs.
Yeah.
And she's exactly right. We get people incredibly complacent. The problem is you get complacent, be careful, because you get too complacent and you can get replaced.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's kind of what's happening right now is we have one particular city. We've probably been through 15 or 20 vendors. Because they do a good job right off the bat, but they know they're just a little bit far away. That you're not probably going to check, right? And then when we do, oh man, my bad, or whatever it is.
We're just going to open a location there. That's how we solve that problem.
That's how we're going to solve that problem too. Exactly right. Yep. So I think it's just trust but verify, right? And so I think that as we go through this whole thing, it's really, really interesting to watch, how we learn the game, Well, and it's going to change our hills, right? Exactly.
As we go through this, now we have new hills that we're going to die on.
Yeah.
Right. To make sure that, okay, this is going to be structured the right way.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
So sometimes as painful as it is to go through, it teaches you a ton.
Absolutely.
And I think that part is the most important. Good?
I think so.
Yeah. Anything else to add, my friend?
Nope.
My
All good.
lady? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one. Bye.